My man Czar make tracks like this.
What's going on, y'all? I want to give you my review of the Trident 80B 500 series EQ. This is essentially the same EQ that's in the Trident 80 console. I picked these up a few years ago on Trident's Black Friday sale, and the price was so good that I got a pair. At the time, I wanted a simple console style EQ, 3 or 4 band that I can do some quick adjustments with. Let's go over an overview of the EQ, and then let's listen to some examples. So let's take a look at the layout. So this is a 4-band EQ, and starting at the top, you have a high shelf that's 8K and switchable to 12K, and it has a boost or cut of 15 dB. Then you have the high mid. Now this goes from 1K up to 15K, so it is sweepable, and it also has a boost of cut of 15 dB. The low mid, 100 hertz up to 1.5K, boost or cut 15 dB. You've got a fixed 50 hertz high pass filter, and on the low shelf, it's switchable between 60 hertz and 120 hertz, and that as well is plus or minus 15 dB. You have the EQ in switch, and you have a peak light, which is really nice to know when you're clipping the signal coming into the EQ. All right, let's go into some examples. So before we get into the examples, I do want to point out that all of the gain pots they do have a center detent. Okay, so the first example we're going to look at is an acoustic guitar. So this acoustic guitar is pretty muddy. There's a lot of low mids there, and we're going to use the Trident 80B EQ to correct that. So what I did there was I rolled off 50 hertz on the low end. I took the 120 hertz shelf, did a cut there, did another cut around 400 hertz, and at 3K did a boost there. So just brought up some of the high end or brought up some of the high mids, and we cut some of those lower frequencies to get the mud out. All right, let's move on to another example. So for this vocal, I feel that it sounds pretty good as recorded as is. I do feel like you can use just a little bit of top end on it, just a little bit of brightness, and I want to add some weight in the low mids, and we'll see if I can do that without making it muddy with the 80B EQ.
He is jealous for me. Love me like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. He is jealous for me. Love me like a hurricane. I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me.
So what I did here was add maybe about 300 hertz, rolled off the with the high pass filter at 50 hertz and added some 12K on the top. I liked how that sounded versus the 8K. But the high end on this EQ is really smooth and is one of my favorite things about this EQ. And as you can see, I was able to achieve what I wanted with the 80B EQ. We added a little bit of weight there in the low mids and it didn't get muddy at all. It just made the vocal sound bigger. So the only thing I don't like about the 80B EQ is that there aren't really any overlapping frequencies. I mean, you've got the from 1 to 1.5K. It's really it. Really not a big deal. Most of the time for overlapping frequencies, I really prefer that in the low end when I'm trying to make a kick drum really big, double boosting frequencies there. But not a big deal. But that's the only con I'd really say to this is that it's not doesn't have really any overlapping frequencies, but it is very easy to use. I really like the layout. The color coding of the knobs makes it very easy to use as well. All right, so that's my review of the Trident 80B 500 series EQ. Any questions, comments, let me know, and I'll catch y'all next time.